It's pretty hard to say how the financial crisis has really affected me as a student, but for the most part, it's really affected my loans I have to take out in order to pay for college. Like, for instance, I have a couple of federal grants, which you don't have to pay back right away, but I also take out some separate loans with a local bank, and the interest rates are surprisingly very high. They're at 8%, 7% in that area, and you pay them back right away. Starts right away.
I think the recession didn't really hit me until my parents told me that I couldn't live on campus this semester. I have a younger sister who just started her freshman year in college, and she's living on campus, and of course I don't want to take her freshman year away from her, so I told my parents that I'd stay home this semester. My parents have two other children besides me who are just 2 years apart. My brother is going to be starting his college career in less than a year and a half. So you can imagine the financial struggles that my parents are facing right now in this time.
So yes, our students worried. They're extraordinarily worried. They're working harder than ever to make sure that they get the highest academic grades possible, which creates additional stress on their academic performance.
Yes, I believe the financial crisis put me in a lot more stress. Not only like in an economic reason, like for money and stuff, but also in the fact that I need to work harder in school in order to get a job. There's so many fewer jobs out there than there are now. So I'm competing with the same amount of people for about half as many jobs all my life. While I've been studying at the library, there's lots more people in the library. Obviously, they're staying there for a lot longer than normal. And also in the classroom, like, everybody's going to classes where there used to be not as many people go to classes. Also, test grades are going to be higher. Like, the average grades on tests are a lot higher than before. So I just think everybody's working a lot harder and trying to do the best for themselves.
But the truth of the matter is that when they go out for obtaining a job, a career position in the job market, you know what we're finding? We're finding that even in the College of Business, students are having a difficult time finding jobs. And what's worse is that once they have a job, they are under great fear whether or not that job is going to be there, one, when they graduate, and two, when they start.
It personally affected me too, because I had a pretty nice internship lined up for like $20, $22 an hour with this company. They told me they were going to be able to hire me earlier in the fall, and now in the spring they told me they couldn't, so I had to go back to the job I had last year, which pays only $11 an hour. So I mean, that's $9 an hour and 40 hours a week, so that's making me a lot less money, making it a lot harder for me to pay back those debts that I'm in right now.
Here's what's happening. I've talked with Business Career Services recently, and of this year's graduating class in the College of Business, 30 to 40% of these students still do not have jobs. And these are great students with great academic backgrounds, with great corporate internships. So you can imagine if young people, high-tech people, are having difficulty getting jobs, you know what state the overall economy is in.
Well, I had an internship set up for this summer and last summer, where I was making a good amount of money, like 20 bucks an hour, and now, since the down economy, I'm working a regular job making about 10 bucks an hour. It kind of sucks because I could have used that extra money to pay off my college debt or pay off, for my books and stuff, but now we have to figure out how to do that some other way.
Yesterday, for example, this is very interesting. I had a student come in and said, "I've got bad news." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Well, I had a great job with one of the major credit card companies. I was going to be a financial analyst looking at some very, very complicated lines of business for them. And I just got an email months ago, followed up by a telephone call, that whole program has been shoved."
I've taken a lot of steps to save some money. All my groceries and stuff are from Costco, Sam's Club. I also make not all my food, but most of my food. So I don't really go out to eat that much, and I don't go out very much either. I also don't spend that much time in my apartment in order to save money on utilities like electricity and water, stuff like that.
Affording college in this state and just affording college in this country is really expensive. My sister and I both decided to go to state schools, and we thought that it'd be a good, cheap option, but really it's more expensive than we thought. There's so many people in this country that can't afford a state education or a city education. And what's even worse is that I know so many people that weren't able to come back to school this semester because it was just way too expensive. I really don't think it's fair. I think that everyone should have a right to college education. It shouldn't just be a privilege for people that have the money to go to college. I mean, everyone should be able to afford a college degree. We shouldn't have to worry about paying these ridiculous loans back. And in this day and age, a bachelor's degree won't get you that far, you know? You need a master's or professional degree. I think we need to take a step back and evaluate our priorities. Education has to be a priority.